Hello, sisters and brothers. I'm actually recording this uh, video in the evening time after actually sending out an email to some fellow parishioners just in regards to our time when we gather to worship, um, and just as a reminder, and it's a reminder for myself, reminder for my fellow sisters and brothers that how important it is to um, do our best to adhere by whatever the protocols are when we are, you know, at home, we're out and about, um, whether we decide to go to the grocery store or encountering someone at our doorstep who's delivering food, um, whether we make the decision to go visit other family members, and to be vigilant about not letting down our guard and to do whatever we can to ensure we are practicing some of the, if not the most safest ways of interacting with others, and for a number of reasons. And so I want to offer a reflection, if you will, based on a gospel passage. It's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verses 36 through 40. It's the passage that comes to mind when I think about the importance of wearing this, the importance of sanitizing, using hand sanitizer, washing your hands frequently, avoiding putting your hands, regardless if you've just recently washed them or not, near your eyes, your mouth, or anything like that, and avoid touching other things that are not necessary for you to really touch, other than your own personal items. This is a shift in our thinking, in the way we normally do things. And it's only been maybe a month and a half. I'm looking at the calendar, if not, for some of us, outside of being home most of that time, we haven't really interacted much with others. And so, and it's going to require being fully conscious of the fact that we need to be careful in how we interact with one another, for our own safety and for the safety of other persons we come in contact with. So the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, I want to share with you what it says, but this is the moment where a scholar of the law is attempting to test Jesus. And he says to him, "Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest?" And Jesus said to them, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the greatest and the first commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. The whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments." Matthew 22, verses 36 through 40. And so I couldn't help but think about my own interaction with others, remembering to wear a mask. So I have a friend of mine who's in a promotional marketing business, and he shared with me, he said, "Hey, look, I have masks to offer to persons and businesses to buy." He said, "But one of the things that I'm really offering is just something simple as, I have it attached to my scapular, but something to attach the mask to you, so that you're not leaving it in your car, you're not leaving it in your purse, you're not leaving it in another room, right? You're not forgetting it at home. It's attached to you, so that regardless of where you may go, you will have it with you as a reminder to wear it." Something very simple. In reflection of this scripture passage, two questions came to mind for me. One of them is, what is God's will for me during this pandemic, and how do I manifest total love for him in everything that I do? And then the second question, how can I love my neighbor as myself during this pandemic? And so my personal reflection is this, that my actions, when rooted in love of God, above all things, above me being uncomfortable wearing this often, me not being used to, washing my hands every so often, not using sanitizer, not being in proximity of sisters and brothers, not touching things that unnecessarily. And if I love my neighbor, I want them to be safe and healthy. I want them to be safe and healthy. Because if I love them, then I'm going to do the best that I can to ensure that as much as my safety is important, so is theirs. As much as my health is important, so is yours. Because this current pandemic has no respecter, it doesn't care how old or young you are. It doesn't matter how strong or how weak you may be. It's devastating. The prudence, sisters and brothers, I think is that virtue that I'm calling to mind that I need to practice more faithfully so that I am living out the two great commandments: love God, love neighbor. And so I just wanted to just, kind of share that with you. So as you kind of go about your day and you choose to venture out or you choose to return to the parish to celebrate the sacrifice of the Mass, or you're going to the grocery store, or you're going for a walk around the neighborhood, or you're going to some other social distance space, whether it be a restaurant or any other gathering place, that you call to mind Matthew 22, verses 36 through 40. Jesus, in his summing up of the commandments, the Decalogue, into the two: love God above all things and love neighbor as yourself. A prayer to each one of you who is watching, and I'll ask that in the spirit of discipleship that you share perhaps this particular passage with someone in the family or a friend that you may speak to, just as a reminder that it's so important for us to be prudent in our actions with one another. God bless you.